coronavirus cases hits another local nursing home. What's being done to protect the residents there? We also speak to family members with loved ones on the inside about their frustrations. And trying to get a pickup grocery slot is nearly impossible these days. We talk about the changes Giant Eagle is making to try and keep up with the demand.
Hospitals need your help. UH is asking people to make masks for caregivers. We'll tell you how you can get in on the action. Plus, if you need a hobby, we've got you covered. The experts show us how to start a garden, and Betsy shows us how to make Dreamcatchers with your little ones. What's new starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Oh, that little picture of Violet smiling up. You'll see more of that video. It was just a very typical smile from my littlest person, who is now 5 years old. Anyway, we'll have more on that coming up. Happy almost Friday, everybody. I'm Betsy Kling, and my co-host Jay Crawford is joining us from home tonight. We will be getting an update from the president. That time slot has been moved to 6 o'clock this evening, so we're going to get started with our show, and that means Jay will help get us caught up on the latest coronavirus headlines. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Betsy. Hope you're doing fine. Hello to everybody at home. We begin with more good news today. 19 manufacturers are teaming up with 3 hospital groups to make face shields for healthcare workers in Ohio. They're expected to make between 75,000 to 1 million over the next 5 years. And the Cleveland Clinic plans to send healthcare workers to New York and Michigan to help at hospitals that are overwhelmed by the coronavirus fight there. Critical care nurses, nurse practitioners, physicians, and technicians are all heading out to help, but they will return if we have the need for them here. And of course, we have the latest numbers for you on the coronavirus fight here in Ohio. There are now 5,512 positive cases here in our state. 213 people have died. To give you a point of reference on those numbers, the last 2 days, cases in Ohio have increased by 8 and then by 7% respectively. Compare that to late March, when cases in Ohio were increasing 30% day over day. We are definitely going in the right direction. So what we're doing is working. That's key. The governor drove home that point again today. Laura Queso has the latest from Governor Mike DeWine.
And while the governor says we have seen too many deaths from this horrible virus, he says what we are doing together is saving lives. And it's clear from this curve. Projections show if we did nothing to stop the spread of COVID-19, Ohio would see 62,000 cases a day at peak. But now that projected number is 1,600 a day. So why are modelers projecting something different than what we are seeing in this state? The governor says the answer lies with the social distancing, following orders. Ohioans exceeded expectation, something modelers didn't expect.
We've hit a home run. We've done a great job. So is it time to celebrate? No, the game is not over. In the rosy scenario, the optimistic projections that you've seen in the last several days are based upon a belief and a calculation that we will continue to do the social distancing in the immediate future at the same level.
But we are not out of the woods. Some projections show peak in just weeks. Others show peak hitting in May. And coming up for you at 6, I'll tell you what the governor had to say about a plan for after COVID-19. Plus, during the press conference, there were a lot of protesters outside. I'll tell you what Dr. Amy Acton had to say about that. Laura Queso, 3 News.
Now on to your feed at 5. Despite a small drop from last week, unemployment numbers have now nearly doubled the amount of claims that were filed in 2019. More than 200,000 claims were reported last week, bringing the total to 696,000. The Ohio Department of Job and Family Services says they are still dealing with high call volumes, as you can imagine, but they're trying to hire more staff and working on freeing up more call space.
We're moving towards nearly 1,000 staff members manning the phones. That will just continue to need to scale up. I mean, the amount of agents that we need to take a call is just pretty mind-blowing right now.
The department says they're taking it day by day, and so far they have paid out about $132 million in claims. Well, if you've tried to order your groceries for pickup or delivery recently, yeah, you gotta wait a little bit for that. You've had a hard time finding a slot. Now today, Giant Eagle announced a plan to help change that. Here's Mark Namick with more.
Giant Eagle has plenty of food. The challenge has been getting it home. That's why today they announced they're going to convert the store in Garfield Heights to an online pickup only, just like this one in Cuyahoga Falls. They say it will improve capacity and give hundreds of more shoppers a chance to pick up their food curbside. The Giant Eagle in Cuyahoga Falls is the chain's first pickup only store, and it's been a big hit and helped double the online order capacity for the Akron-Canton area. Store officials say it's also taught them how to become more efficient, pulling groceries and delivering them to customers waiting in dedicated parking spots.
What we're able to do here at our Cuyahoga Falls Giant Eagle is be much more efficient. So we have a smaller group of team members, but cranking out many more orders for our customers. What's important to know is that each week we are increasing incrementally thousands of available slots for our guests. So in this course of the past month, across all of our markets, we are approaching doubling the number of available curbside slots in any given week.
Giant Eagle expects to have the Garfield Heights store open for business on Sunday. They wouldn't say whether they're ready to open more dedicated online stores, but they said they will follow the demand. Reporting from Cuyahoga Falls, Mark Namick, 3 News.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Some troubling news on the fight to control the spread of the coronavirus. Lorain County now has its first cluster at a nursing home. 17 people have been diagnosed with the virus at the Main Street Care Center that's in Avon Lake. Investigator Rachel Polanski joins us with more details. Rachel?
Main Street Care Center is part of a large campus here at Springer Healthcare Town Center, which has several buildings throughout this campus. The big concern about the virus spreading at nursing homes is, of course, residents are older and they may have underlying health conditions. Not to mention, they're in closed, confined spaces. But according to Lorain County Public Health Commissioner Dave Covell, every long-term care facility in Lorain County should have a plan in which they identified floors and separated symptomatic people from healthy people.
You have different floors. You have different people working on different floors. And so the idea of having certain workers work on each floor, make sure that anybody who's symptomatic, even before they're tested, that those symptomatic people are isolated from people who are not symptomatic. And that way you can try to control the spread inside of the facility.
Still, those who have family members inside Main Street Care Center are worried, telling me the facility has not been very transparent.
Right. I need to know, are you doing the right things? Do you have the right resources? Are you working with the right people? Tell us yes or no. If it's not no, it's okay. What's the timetable?
According to inspection reports, Main Street Care Center has had 10 health citations in the last year and has received an overall 2-star rating from Medicare. We'll have more on this story at 6 o'clock. Rachel Polanski, 3 News.
All right, Rachel, thank you very much. It's a big story. We're going to continue to follow that one very closely. Well, the need for masks during the pandemic has not gone away, with healthcare workers using them to stay safe every day. It's really the vital tool for them to stay safe during their job. University Hospitals has turned to the community, asking them to make 100,000 masks to protect their workers. Here's how this program works. UH has already acquired the materials needed to make the masks from donors and community partners. Employees are now separating the raw materials. They're putting them into individual kits. If you know how to sew, you can pick up these small kits from specific locations. Each kits have enough material to make 10 masks. You follow the directions to sew them together and then bring them back to the drop-off location when you're done. The response so far has been overwhelming. In just 1 week, 20,000 masks have been returned. Another 40,000 kits have already been distributed, but there's still more work to be done.
The template, which can be found on our website, is pretty simple to do. This is to give that extra layer of our protection to our staff and all of our employees, because we got to make sure that they stay safe and healthy during this.
Absolutely. Priority 1, when the masks are complete, they get washed and distributed. You can pick up and drop off the kits at 4 different UH facilities. Here's where they are: Chardon, Parma, Elyria, and Shaker Heights. We have all the details on our website, WKYC.com. Betsy?
All right, thanks so much, Jay. And of course, those masks, that's the one that we've been making here on the show earlier. We have that available at WKYC.com. Russ joins us now with an update on some of the other headlines making news today. Hi, Russ.
Hey, Betsy, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you at home. The cleanup continues after those severe storms and tornadoes barreled through northeast Ohio Tuesday night. Tree service companies were out in force today, clearing trees and large branches. Homes, businesses, and barns were also damaged, but luckily there were no injuries. A 24-year-old man is dead after an off-duty Cleveland police officer shot him near West 25th and Pearl Road. Police say this happened after one of two men in the car pulled a gun on the officer. Another man is in custody. Also, there are some new modifications if you visit the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. Loop trails will now be one-way travel going in a clockwise direction. They also ask if a parking lot is crowded, find another lot, or perhaps visit during the week when it is less crowded there. And effective Saturday, University Hospitals is temporarily suspending operations at its emergency departments in North Ridgeville and in Andover. Staff is being reassigned to help at COVID-19 locations. Betsy, that is all the news for now. I'll see you at 5:30.
Okay, but the big takeaway from that is if you're going hiking in the national park trails, make sure you know what trail you are on. Because if you get on the 6.6 mile trail, you're going 6.6 miles. You can't turn around and come back.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're full of information, Betsy. Thank you.
I'm just saying it for my own benefit because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get stuck. So or tromp through the woods. Thanks so much, Russ. Appreciate it.
We have wonderful news for you today. Louisiana-owned Tyler Perry has just paid for your groceries for the day. Yes. Really? Yes, he did.
How cool is that? What a great surprise. Filmmaker Tyler Perry partnered with Winn-Dixie grocery stores and paid for shoppers' groceries. He picked up the tab for seniors during the 1-hour window designated just for them at all 29 Louisiana Winn-Dixie locations. That's cool. Well, still ahead, picking up new hobbies. It's a big trend right now. We show you how to plant your own little garden. And Stephanie, what's been clicking in Cleveland today?
Betsy, LeBron James and his family are getting in on the latest TikTok trend. Of course, we're going to show it to you, plus tell you how the platform is helping out people who are in need right now. Now let's check in with Matt Wentz and see how the weather's looking out there. Matt?
Stephanie, we just got pelted with a little bit of hail, a little bit of grapple as well, and now we're back to some sunshine. What in the world is going on with the weather? We've got answers for you coming up.
Welcome back to What's New. If you're anything at all like me, by now you're looking for anything to keep you busy. Just keep your mind off the everyday coronavirus news. So if you're looking for a new hobby, here's one that you might want to consider. Gardening, to me, has always been super intimidating. I love yard work, grass and all of that, but gardening. But thanks to Noelle Aiken from Petiti's Garden Center, I'm now practically a green thumb.
All you need for seed starting is a clean tray, okay? Soil, so seed starting soil is usually the best. And then your seeds, a little bit of water, and you're ready to go. So basically we're starting some very easy seeds to grow. So you have things like cabbage, beans, zinnias, lettuce, and radish. All those seeds will germinate or pop really, really quickly. So they're very, very easy crops to grow at home. You can start them in cooler weather. You can start them inside. So all of it works. But we have a lovely day today, so you can start seeds outside on a lovely day.
Okay,
so.
Now do I fill up mostly to the top with soil?
Yes, so mostly to the top with soil. You want to go ahead and kind of compact it down a little bit, push it down with your fingers.
Okay.
Absolutely, and that'll give a nice seed bed for those seeds that you want to start. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Getting all the fingers in there.
Basically, we're just gonna put seeds in. And then
yes.
Put a little, just like Bloomberg said, it's very easy.
We can do it. Okay.
So it's actually much more difficult than that. But, okay, so then just distribute these seeds evenly.
So what I'll normally do is I'll put some in my hand.
Okay.
And then I have cabbage. Cabbage is real easy to start at this time of year. It's good to start inside early, and then you have it kind of advanced when you're ready to plant outside.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll usually do like 2 or 3 in that seed flat, okay?
Okay.
And then they need to go, my cabbage need to go about a 1/2 inch, your radish need to go about a 1/2 inch deep, so you can just kind of press them lightly as you put them in, okay?
And then it's just a matter of regularly watering them, and even if they don't get sunlight, you were telling me artificial light will work.
Yeah, absolutely. So grow lights, anything like that are gonna really help with this, and you wanna expose them to as much light as possible. Keep your seed packet, it always has a lot of information on it, how to grow the seeds, what kind of light they need, all those types of things, and spray misting. So if you keep them evenly moist, that's a great thing. Just make sure that that soil is evenly moist all the time. And we can put domes on them. You can put plastic wrap over the top if you want to. It'll keep the humidity, the moisture in. And then when the seeds do start germinating, you remove that dome or you remove that plastic wrap, and that works really well too.
Okay, so zinnia, lettuce, and radish.
And radishes, yeah.
And I hope I'm doing this right. I'm so impatient. I'm just kind of putting a little bit in each one.
That's okay.
And then
tamp them down.
Tamp them down.
Yep. And then you're watering them.
Water every day?
Yeah, I would watch the soil. If you put that dome or plastic wrap over the top, you probably won't have to water every day because it's keeping that humidity and that moist condition inside.
Okay.
And if you don't have a dome or a plastic wrap around, that's fine. You probably would have to spray mist and water a little bit more often.
Okay. And I do. I actually take the dome off every day and spray a little bit of water just to keep the soil moist. And Noelle says that you can transplant the seeds into the plantlings into the ground after they have about 2 or 3 leaves, true leaves on each plant. And so now we shot that about 2 weeks ago. And look at this. Now I don't know which one is which. I just put a whole bunch of seeds in the dirt, so I'm not sure which one the radish is, which one are the flowers. I don't know, but it won't be long before I can start digging holes and planting these in the ground and then making sure they get the proper water out there. I think it's a great fun activity, especially for kids, because you get to sort of chart the progress as they come up day to day. And I've never been into gardening, and who knows, maybe now I've got a new hobby out of all this. Okay, couldn't keep them outside this morning because I literally looked out my window this morning and it was like a blizzard. It was the largest snowflakes, Matt Wintz, I have ever seen. It was really crazy. And Matt, by the way, welcome back after a brief staycation. You were missed. It's good to have you back on the program. What am I looking at right now? Where are you?
Jay, I'm outside. I'm sitting in a puddle. It's one of the lower spots in our lawn. I'm trying to reseed like you were just teaching us to do. So this is a really bad idea. We've got wind gusts. I'm underneath a large tree. What could go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, let me give you a weather word, and we've missed that when you've been gone.
Sure.
And I think it's fitting for today. Gamut. I think you know what I mean with that.
Yeah. I thought you said something else first, but gamut, got it with a G. I totally get it. Jay, you need to better organize your gardening skills. I'm worried that you planted corn in that one pot there, so you're going to have a big corn stalk growing inside the house. This is just, I am really worried
Matt,
about you.
You planted an orange tree at your desk, so we're even.
I did. You know, I have it here at home. I left it on the balcony last night. It had snow on it this morning. My wife was freaking out, but I said, honey, it snows in Florida, so that thing's doing just great. So we'll get you updated on that. All right, I'm going to start with good news. Yeah, we've got crazy weather now, but look at your average highs the next 4 weeks. Our average high right now, 56 degrees. By next Thursday, we're talking near 60. By the end of the month, we're in the mid-60s, but we know Mother Nature does not play by averages. Look at the radar today. This is very typical of what you expect when you have very cold air aloft in an April-like atmosphere. We get these popcorn showers that some produce some hail, some produce some grapple, and it's just a mess outside with the gusty winds as well. You can see the hail radar there. We've had a few little areas of some grapple hail mix heading off towards the east, but that will start to wind down as we lose the daytime heating. But this is a monster low pressure ramping up the east coast. This thing's going to bomb out as we go over the next couple hours. We're on the backside of that, so we get increasing winds, and it is a cold wind. And look at all the popcorn showers, even snow showers across areas of Great Lakes. That's as colder air comes in. But the reason why we have the grapple and the hail today is because we've got such cold air just above us. You go up into where the clouds are, the cumulus layer, right around 8,000, 10,000 feet or so. We've got really cold temperatures there, so that allows a lot of snowflakes to fall and mix with super cool droplets, and that's what creates that kind of soft snow pellets or the grapple that we have outside. Temperatures here at the surface, still cold though. We're going to run the gamut tonight with these cold temperatures, and then tomorrow we're going to have another cool day in store as this cold air stays in place and the winds continue to gust 30, 40 miles per hour. The winds will gradually subside just a little bit tonight, but that low's ramping up, so that's certainly not helping things. Your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast, as we lose the daytime heating, that's what these popcorn showers and snow showers thrive on, is that daytime heating, the heating of the Earth's surface. When we lose that, a lot of the activity will actually go away tonight, but we're left with, some snow showers, especially out towards the east. May see accumulation on some grassy surfaces. It's not going to be too widespread. And then your Friday looks much better. We'll return to some sunshine, perhaps some snowflakes around. You get outside forecast tomorrow. It will be cool but improved. Most of us will have some sunshine with the exception of some of that snow out east. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast. Look at the recovery. Saturday up near 55. It will be dry. Rain arrives a little bit on Sunday. A better chance on Monday as another storm system comes in and drops our temperatures on into next week. Jay?
I love your Easter lily. I think it's beautiful on your desk there. Well done.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I've been watering it.
Matt. And good job with the gamut. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Steph Haney has Clicking in Cleveland. Stay with us.
Betsy, you know we got to keep up with the kid from Akron.
Oh, Stephanie, I just found out that the chocolate bar in downtown Cleveland is doing pickups for martinis. They'll also deliver in accordance with all of the state regulations and changes that have taken place. So we might have to have cocktails one evening during the 5 o'clock. I'll take the non-alcoholic.
Hey, that doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. Not a far walk. Not a far
Right?
walk from the studio.
Exactly. All right,
you
Stephanie,
know,
get us caught up with what's clicking in Cleveland. Sorry.
All right, that's okay. You know, we got to keep our tabs on what's going on with the kid from Akron. LeBron James and his family are trying out the latest TikTok dance. It's called the Toosie Slide, and it's for a new song by Drake. Check it out.
You know, I could dance like Michael Jackson. I could give you satisfaction. And you know we out here every day with it. I'ma show you how to get it. It go right foot up, left foot slide, left foot up, right foot slide. Basically I'm saying either way we bout to slide. Can't let this one slide. It go right foot up, left.
Lots of other celebrities are getting in on this, like The Bachelorette's Hannah Brown and Twitch from Ellen. You can see him there as well. And, you know, besides keeping us busy, TikTok is also doing some other really cool stuff. They have donated $250 million in order to help people who are impacted by COVID-19. So some of those organizations include the Health Heroes Relief Fund, that's all for healthcare workers, the TikTok Community Relief Fund, that's targeting help for TikTok's diverse user base, the TikTok Creative Learning Fund, that's to support distance learning, and $100 million in ad credits to help small businesses. So speaking of TikTok, one of the schools here in Westlake has taken some inspiration in order to send positive vibes to their students. Check out this clip. Messages include staying positive and keeping a smile on your face, a reminder of how much they are clearly being missed and that the teachers can't wait to see them again, and to stay healthy, and also, you know, to pause for a moment of joy. And Betsy, in case you didn't realize, that whole moving the thing around, passing it from person to person, that's a TikTok thing too. It's called the Don't Rush Challenge. It's very funny, lots of takes. I recommend you check it out.
I'm going to have you email me some directions on that. Maybe we could try that, perhaps with a martini.
I will.
Okay, thank you so much. There you go. All right, Steph, thanks. Well, friends, as the unemployment numbers continue to rise, so does the number of people without health insurance. Obviously, this is a huge concern across our community, and our Monica Robbins will break down your options. Also, if you're ready to watch a good classic sitcom, well, we'll get some ideas on what's binge-worthy out there. And of course, Mike Polk is going to help us with that. And now is the perfect time for some crafting. Yep, we were down in the craft room. My girls and I will show you how to make some rainbow Dreamcatchers.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
And a very good happy Friday to everyone. The weekend, Betsy, it is so close you can just about touch it. I'm Jay Crawford joining you from my home. Betsy Kling is live in our WKYC studios. Betsy, one community rallied to celebrate a very special birthday today. It's a terrific story.
Oh, this is going to get your heart, I promise. Patrick Kelly, a little man who turned 7 years old today. Now, it was going to be a pretty sad birthday, not just because of the coronavirus, but get this, he recently lost his dad to brain cancer. But the Cleveland Heights Police Department got wind of that, and they decided to take part in a parade with his family and friends. They even sent the bomb squad robot to bring him a present. Talk about cool social distancing when a robot drops off a present for you. So congratulations to that little man on making it through a very big 7th birthday celebration in a very new way.
Yep, they made it a little more special, that's for sure. All right, Betsy, let's get everyone caught up on the latest developments in the coronavirus here in Ohio. 19 manufacturers are teaming up with 3 hospital groups to make face shields for healthcare workers in Ohio. They're expected to make between 75,000 and $1 million over the next 5 weeks. Great work by them. The state has dished out $132 million in unemployment benefits. The money has gone to 270,000 Ohioans who have been impacted by the coronavirus. And there are now more than 5,500 cases of coronavirus here in Ohio. 213 people have died. The number of people out of work continues to grow. In just 3 weeks, 695,000 jobless claims have been filed in Ohio alone. People losing their jobs could be losing their health insurance too. Our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins, is in the Health Hub with what options are out there. Monica?
Joining me in the Health Hub is Tim McNichols, Executive Director at Lighthouse Insurance Group based in Independence. If someone loses their job and health insurance, they're usually offered COBRA first. Can you explain what this is and who it might benefit?
There's advantages for COBRA in that it's the same exact coverage that you have currently. So if you're in the midst of, being treated for something or have had a family member that, still has treatments for whatever conditions, that may be your best bet so that you aren't having to kind of start over. You're going to pay the full boat for that coverage now, not only the employee portion, but what your company was paying for. So there's some things to consider from that standpoint. And you're also going to usually pay a small administrative fee. So the costs are, go up a little bit there. You have some flexibility with COBRA in that you have some time to make the decision. You don't have to take it right away. But if you are going to use or continue to use your insurance, you must start paying on the premiums. So you have to kind of take that into account if you're going to consider COBRA.
Can someone who just lost their job still have access to the federal health insurance marketplace, otherwise known as healthcare.gov?
But there's something called a qualifying life event, and that would be usually it's a change in job status, which that can impact a lot of people today. Something along the lines of a marriage or a birth, even a death in the family. Different things are going to trigger that, what they call a QLE or qualified life event. And a loss of your job will normally trigger that, being able to get access to the marketplace. So that's your next bet. The only thing that you really have to take into account there is you're not going to have help. You're going to have, to go on that and kind of navigate it yourself. There isn't, a lot of options for that. So unless, you like doing your own taxes, you may not find it to be, fun. It's get somebody to help you.
Committed to bringing you facts, not fear. Monica Robbins, 3 News.
All right, let's get a check with Russ on some of the headlines that are making news today. And Russ, Jay just said that the $132 million has been paid out by the state of Ohio for unemployment benefits. But Ohio is just one small piece of this bigger puzzle.
Yeah, these national numbers pretty scary as well. Good afternoon again, Betsy. Unemployment numbers continue to reach new heights. Close to 17 million Americans have now lost their jobs, this in just the past 3 months. Last week alone, 6.6 million filed unemployment claims. Part of the surge is more qualifying for benefits who did not before, like those who are self-employed and independent contractors. At sunset tonight, Terminal Tower, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, Progressive Field Scoreboard, and the Cleveland Clinic's Miller Pavilion will light up blue to support healthcare workers, first responders, and caregivers. Residents are also encouraged to turn on their lights to show support. And a steady stream of vehicles pulled into the Akron-Canton Regional Food Bank today on its distribution day. We know more than 1,000 families were served, many coming for the first time. And if you would like to make a donation to help feed our neighbors, just go to akroncantonfoodbank.org or call 330-535-6900. Once again, 330-535-6900. This fundraiser is sponsored by WKYC Studios and Barnett Management. Betsy, that's all at 5:30. We'll be back at 6 o'clock with more.
All right, we're also waiting on the president. He's expected to start his address later on, too. So thank you so much. Appreciate that, Russ. Well, Lori Loughlin is trying her best to get the charges against her in the college admissions scandal dismissed. Stephanie Haney covers that and more in today's Pop Break.
Federal prosecutors say Lori Loughlin's motion to dismiss college admissions scandal charges against her isn't good enough. Loughlin and designer husband Massimo Giannulli claim prosecutors withheld evidence that they thought they were giving the University of Southern California a donation, not bribing individuals. In a new filing, prosecutors now say that just because the word bribe wasn't used doesn't mean Loughlin wasn't part of a scheme to get her two daughters into the school illegally. A judge has yet to rule on the motion to dismiss, and trial is set for October. Dr. Phil is giving free advice for couples forced to be together 24/7 because of the coronavirus. First, focus on the things you have in common and do those things. Second, it's important to give each other emotional space and physical space. And third, remember that you won't always be in the same mood every day, so you've got to take turns lifting each other up. Dr. Phil's biggest takeaway right now is that any bumps in your relationship are just that, bumps. And apparently Prince William has a sweet tooth. While he and Kate Middleton talked with kids still in school in England whose parents are healthcare workers, the conversation turned to Easter with the grown-ups asking if they could stop by their place for candy.
There'll be a lot of chocolate to be eaten here, don't worry.
Excellent. You keep eating it. Even royal heirs can't stay out of the snacks right now.
Seems like snacking is the theme for all of us who are at home right now. And speaking of being at home, Saturday Night Live announced today that it's coming back this Saturday with SNL at home. They made the announcement with a tweet this afternoon showing their full cast on a video conference call. You can see a lot of beards and some really comfy clothes in there. Betsy, I don't know if you've had a chance to see any of the late night at home shows, but they have been absolutely hilarious, and this promises to be amazing. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, the kids keep stealing the show, definitely. So we'll see if any of the SNL folks have their families involved too. Thanks so much, Steph. Appreciate it. Well, we are all about crafting at our house, and my girls and I will be tackling some rainbow Dreamcatchers, how you can make them at home. And Matt, how's that forecast looking?
Well, hey, Betsy, a meteorological dream today. We've had grapple, some hail. We have such cold air aloft. What does that mean for your forecast, and when does this nasty weather come to an end? We've got answers for you coming up after the break.
Well, at-home crafts are helping out so many people battle boredom right now. My girls and I are tackling a few to help you out with some ideas, and we had some help from our friends at Joann Fabrics. Curbside pickup and with delivery options, trust me, you just do a little planning ahead and you've got a lot of different options at your fingertips. So we are going to show you how to make rainbow dream catchers. Here are the supplies that you need: tissue paper, embroidery hoops, scissors, tape, pen, and contact paper. First up, you're going to tear up the paper into small pieces. Now notice this is Josie and she is tearing up bigger pieces. She tore up a lot of big pieces. We have enough shredded paper for like 18 of these things. Violet took a little different approach. She did everything in microscopic, tiny little pieces, more like just shreds of paper. All right, then once you get all that kind of torn up and you get the idea of all that tissue paper laid out, then you put a circle on a piece of contact paper. That's going to be where you place your hoop. You put down the tissue paper in the design that you want. You're going to take another piece of contact paper, put it on top, and then smooth it out. That's what Josie was doing. You want to smooth down those little pieces of paper like Violet did there. Josie used the tongue depressor, the good old craft stick, and then you have your nice kind of flat little window, right? So then you put it in the embroidery hoop, put a little bit of a piece of string on it or something to hang it, and there you go. So I actually have some of the supplies here. I'll show you this too. Contact paper is like magical, right? You can use it for all different kinds of stuff. So you want to use the clear contact paper, and I have this kind of already set out in the size that I need. I stole some of Josie's shreds of tissue paper, so I'm just going to do mine a little bit more haphazard. I'm a more free-flowing creator than the girls are. They were very specific about it. Take another piece of your contact paper, sticky side down, and you're going to stick the two together. So this is where the craft stick comes in. Boom. Look at there. Crafting like crazy up in here. Okay, then you take your embroidery hoop and you pop it out, and you're going to smash your now done little design into the embroidery hoop. I'm going to switch it over here. This is Violet's, okay? You can see the tiny little shards of paper that she stuck in there. And of course, she chose the smallest embroidery hoop. Once you get that little contact paper put in here, you have to cut this off the back. So you just kind of take a pair of scissors and chop off the extra. Super easy to do, right? And then you add a string to the top of the hoop. Look at this. This is so easy. Hopefully you're going to be a little faster, but maybe a little bit more careful with how you do yours. Tie a quick little knot in it, and then you have a very nifty, homemade, handy-dandy sun catcher. This is Josie's, the bigger one, and Violet's. So the nice thing is these can be mailed pretty cheap. You can just throw it in an envelope and get them out the door. Now the big question is, when can we have some sunshine for our sun catchers? And of course for that, we're gonna turn to Matt, because Matt's been off for a few days and we're gonna blame him for everything that's happened this week. So Matt, over to you. Bring us some sunshine, please.
Well, thanks a lot, Betsy. You guys usually do blame me whether I'm there or not, so I certainly appreciate that. Betsy, it's incredible outside. I don't know what they keep the temperature at in the studio, but we've got a little squall moving in here. This is just going to be perfect for this weather hit. I mean, we shouldn't even go to the graphics. Does it get any better than this in April? Does it get any better? This computer's not going to work in about 5 minutes. We'll see what happens. But a lot of people have been seeing the grapple today. We've actually had a little bit of hail as well. Let's just get to the difference of those two things. Grapple, we get a lot in the fall and in the springtime when we have warmer surface temperatures but really cold air masses that come in behind cold fronts aloft in the atmosphere. And that's the white, really soft, kind of crumbly dipping dots, I like to call them. Whereas hail, we've had some of that to do today as well in some of the more robust, even thunderstorms that we've had out towards Cuyahoga County earlier. That's when you have violent updrafts and downdrafts tossing a raindrop up and it refreezes and falls as an ice cube. So we've had a little bit of both today, more grapple and even some snow, just flat out snow. So we've had the bursts across northeast Ohio this afternoon. That continues. You can see the radar has been pretty checkered in terms of the activity. You get sunshine 1 minute, you get some rain, perhaps some snow the next minute, then it's over with. But the wind winds continue to gust. They are howling, especially as you get some of these showers. They can tap into that jet stream energy and bring it down to the surface. So you get some of your stronger wind gusts when you have the rain and snow grapple mixture. But you can see the big picture. It is a pattern changing cold front that moved by. It's bringing the very cold air aloft, and we'll have more of this tomorrow. So we're going to start with some sunshine, and we'll bubble up those clouds as we go throughout the day. And we're still going to see some snow showers overnight tonight and tomorrow, especially out east. So your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast, you lose that daytime heating, which we're going to lose after sunset. We lose a lot of that popcorn-like look to the radar. So most of us will go dry tonight. We'll carry some flurries out east. Wake-up temperatures tomorrow in the 30s. What have we done to the weather around here? Tomorrow afternoon, I think a lot of us are in sunshine, but by afternoon, we may pop some more snow showers, especially out east, but the weekend gets better. So your outside forecast looks like this tomorrow. I've got it set as 7 and 10 out of 10. You'll be cool, but it will be sunnier than where we are today. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecasts a nice recovery this weekend. Saturday looks like the good day. Sunday, a couple showers, and then another storm system brings rain and lots of wind to the area on Monday and cooler temperatures to follow. Betsy.
Great. Thank you very much, Matt. I'm just finishing up my sun catcher. So we're stocked up. We have 3. We'll send you some supplies. You can have River and Emmy make some too. That'll be kind of fun.
Awesome. I'll take anything I can get.
Desperation is set in.
It is. It's there.
Thank you so much, Matt. Appreciate it. Well, Mike Polk is taking a trip down memory lane. That's right. He's going to share his binge-watching list with some of the classic sitcoms from way back when. And hoarding toilet paper. How one baker used it to keep her business afloat during this pandemic. That's in our Worth a Watch.
Welcome back to What's New. I have been waiting for this very moment the entire show. I grew up in the 70s, and the sitcoms in the 70s, I don't know, maybe I'm biased, were the best. Mike Polk and I agree on this. So what he's done is he's put together a binge viewing guide for all of those classic TV shows. I can't wait to see it. Mike, take it away.
And this just in, everything is still terrible and most things are now on fire. Turning to the weather. And here's a list of more things that are trying to hurt you and your family. Bees, black mold, cholesterol. Yeesh. If you're anything like me, you could probably use a break from reality right now in the form of distracting entertainment. But modern day television can be too bleak or heavy. For example, I've heard that HBO Chernobyl series is really good, but it doesn't seem like the right time to dive into that.
The pain is unimaginable.
This is a good time for uncomplicated comfort television. With that in mind, here are some classic sitcoms that are currently available on streaming platforms to distract you for a little bit.
Times you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Oh man, do you guys remember bars? Weren't those great? Well, you still can't go to them. But that doesn't mean you can't pull up a stool to Netflix and check out all 11 seasons of the all-time classic Cheers, where everyone knows your name and isn't scared to sit within 6 feet of you. Also on Netflix now, the show that is the very epitome of simpler times, The Andy Griffith Show. In Mayberry, the biggest issue they ever had to deal with was whether or not Aunt Bee would win blue ribbon for her homemade pickles at the county fair that year. And that is just the level of adversity that I can handle right now.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
If you're in the mood for a classic, simple, fish-out-of-water sitcom, Amazon is also streaming The Beverly Hillbillies, where poor people enter the world of rich people, and Green Acres, where rich people enter the world of poor people. As you can imagine, hilarity ensues. IMDb recently got into the streaming game, and they're offering sitcoms like Who's the Boss, in which Tony Danza and Judith Light try to determine each week who is indeed the boss. You can also watch the classic Bewitched, in which an advertising executive, played by two guys, marries an actual witch. Hilarity also ensues. Fun note, Bewitched also includes an incredible amount of day drinking, which is obviously very relevant right now. And finally, you can watch Blair, Tootie, and the rest of the Facts of Life girls grow up over the course of 9 seasons, with a little help from a young, mulleted George Clooney and the incomparable Mrs. Garrett, whom I actually do a pretty decent impression of. Girls, girls! It's very narrow, but believe me, that's dead on. So there you have it, some sitcom comfort food from yesteryear to help you escape for a while. And you can do it without escaping those pajama pants you're wearing. That makes things so much easier. Let's use that more. This is Mike Polk reporting from my creepy basement for 3 News.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. I love the laugh track. And by the way, just for you, these creepy pajama pants you talk about? Yep. Not every day, just today. I just texted Mike. I want to know his favorite sitcom of all time. He hasn't responded yet. I'll let you know what he says. Wow. If you want more of that, and there is more, believe it or not, you can go to our app, WKYC.com, either one, and you can see the extended version of that piece. Mike, many thanks. The coronavirus is causing people to hoard things like toilet paper. We know about that. So one baker used it to her advantage. It's a crazy story. It's our Worth the Watch, and it's coming up next. All right, it's that time of the show again. Time for our Worth the Watch video. The coronavirus was really hurting a baker's business in Finland. She lost a lot of orders until she baked a toilet paper cake. She created them after people started hoarding real toilet paper. The first 5 cakes sold within an hour. They became a social media hit. The bakery now has, Betsy, hundreds of orders for toilet paper cakes. Not sure I would eat one, but it is a pretty cool story.
That's great. I really like that story. Now, roll it back, roll it back, roll it back, roll it back. What's up with those pants, dude? What are you wearing?
These are pajama pants. I know you said you'd be traumatized if you ever saw them again, but I couldn't resist. Today's my Friday. I'm off until Monday, so I am serious in relaxed mode.
Oh, it's good to see you put in a full 8-hour day today. Really appreciate that. What matters most with Russ and Laura is coming up next. Have a great weekend.